We're gonna try something a bit different today, and I'm literally just gonna sit here with no plan and rant about my one of the strangest experiences in my life, aka my my fricked up trip to Canada. Now I say fricked up, but it was fine for the most part. I don't know why, but for some reason, it was a lovely trip, just a vacation with family. But there were moments in between that were just so strange, I have not forgotten about them to this day. I think this was like 2 years ago by now almost, because of COVID and all. I don't remember a time before this when we were actually allowed to leave our house, but I went to Canada with my parents for about 2 weeks, I think it was. It might have been a bit longer, but I went to Canada with my parents. It was like a dream come true, because my dad loves Canada, and my mum has been obsessed with Niagara Falls, is that how you say it? Since she's been like... I literally don't remember a time before my mum wouldn't shut up about that place. So, we were all really hyped because, Canada, it's cool. And it's the furthest we've ever been away from home. It was gonna be a lovely family trip. And everything was gonna be fine. And it was, for the most part. Basically, the trip boiled down to 3 main parts. So we spent 5 days in Vancouver, then we spent 2 days in Niagara Falls, and then we spent 3 days in Toronto. Those were our kind of top 3 locations we were going to go to. And it was gonna be great, but 3 different locations to go to, right, on a trip also means 3 different hotels. And in every single one of those hotels, something different went wrong. So I'm just gonna talk about the hotels because, oh my god. But before I get to that, getting to Canada. Now that's an interesting thing. So I live in Ireland. So it's a bit away, Canada. It's a long while away. It was a really long flight. I think it was like 8 hours. I ended up watching the entirety of the Avengers. And then I watched like the entirety of Thor Ragnarok, I think, on the plane flight. And then I like passed out and slept for the rest of it. It was a great flight. But we had to like have a transfer flight. I think we had to stop somewhere and then like have a 1 more hour, like fly for like 1 more hour. And that's cool and all. Except we stopped at a very interesting place. So we flew from Dublin. And then we stopped in this place called Calgary. Or Calgary, I don't know how to pronounce it properly. I'm sorry. But that place was the most yee-ass place I've ever been to. Listen, like I got there and I was like, this is just Canadian Texas. What is going on here? Everyone had like freaking like these like yee-ass hats, and everyone had these like accents, and I was just there like, I am foreign, this is strange. And rip me. Our flight to Calgary ended up getting delayed a bit, I believe. I don't know if we were stuck in air for a bit or something, but we got delayed a bit. I think it might have been the weather. So that meant our transfer flight, like left without us, was like, peace out. So they like gave us free, like obviously let us change to the next flight over for free. But we had to go to like an information desk for it, and we couldn't find it. So there was this nice gentleman, and every worker at the airport was wearing like cowboy hats. I'm not even sure. Everyone there was dressed in cowboy hats, and it was so funny. But we walk up to this like lovely gentleman who worked there, and we were like, sorry, where's the desk? And and he had this like straight up just like, bro, if you told me I was in Canada, I wouldn't have believed you, because that was straight up Texas. Like, and the guy had the accent and all, and he was like, oh right, you just gotta go there and whatever. And he was lovely. He was a very nice fella. He just showed us the way, and we got transferred. And I ended up, so on the flight, I ended up not getting a seat next to my parents. We all got separated, all 3 of us. So I got a seat next to these two stoners, straight up. Like, they both looked high. It was like this lady and her mans, and they both looked high. They had like that kind of like blonde wavy hair. They were like dressed like all that, and they weren't a problem because the whole flight they were just asleep. So the first place we got to was Vancouver. We were gonna be there for 5 days, and our hotel in Vancouver was strange. There isn't much I have to complain about in that hotel. It was just weird, because basically, so when my parents were like booking the room, they got us this like, so the hotel had breakfast included and all. So they got us this pass that it was basically a lot cheaper to buy breakfast for 4 people than it was to buy like for 2 and buy like 1 extra or something. For 4 people it's just paid off better, so we would get 4 breakfasts included. Except the thing was, you had to like come down and give this like girl that worked there. She was really nice, just I don't think English was her first language, and she was just a little confused. Which like, she was trying her best. I appreciate her for that. The thing was, with the breakfast, it wasn't like a kind of like a buffet type thing. It was like, she would like bring them to the table, and it was every day it was the same thing. You just got to pick like parts of it. I think there was like a choice between eggs and something else, and you know, we just picked our thing. But they had I think hash browns they're called. Which, again, sort of Americanized thing. I didn't know what it was. None of us knew what it was, and we didn't really want it. So we said, oh, we don't want this. And we asked that every day. And every day for our 5-day stay, she brought them in. And we were always like, we don't want this. Could you just keep it out of the food? And she was just like, okay. And she never did. We always got it in the end. And like, I'd eat some, and it's just like burnt potato. I don't know what the appeal is. But that was the only problem with Vancouver Hotel. The Vancouver Hotel was great, and the staff was lovely. They were all nice. It was in Niagara Falls where things started getting messy. Now, Niagara Falls Hotel. I can't even call it a hotel, because it wasn't. It was a motel. But when, like, booking a hotel, it's hard to tell the quality, the actual quality. And, oh my god. It was bad. I don't want to be, like, bougie and sound entitled, but it... you know, it was small and cramped, and the windows were literally showing everything to everyone around us, and it was kind of like, ooh, everyone's staring at us, you know? The funniest thing that happened is, like, we were just chilling in our room, and my mom left the front door open, and we were, like, on the bottom floor of it. And, like, my mom left the front door open because she wanted to, like, let some air in because it was stuffy. And some random dude just walks in, right? Some random dude just waltzes into our room, like, looking at his phone. And he's like focused, and look, like, I'm sitting there on the bed, and I see him walk in, and my dad's in the bathroom, so he can't see anything. And my mom's chilling there. And my mom's chilling and, like, turned away, so she can't see him. I'm the only one who sees him. And I'm just so dumbfounded as to what's happening that I just didn't say anything. Literally didn't say a word, I just stared at him. And he's in his phone, he can't see a thing. He starts taking his shoes off. And my mom finally spots him, and she's like, excuse me? And he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Because he walked into the wrong room. And he just runs out. And I was like, what the frick just happened? So, again, you know, we from Europe, we don't know nobody. And we don't know how America works. Or Northern America as a whole. So we were kind of like, ooh. Not prepared for some things. And those things being y'all's toilets. Now, this is gonna sound really strange, but let me explain. You know how it be sometimes. I don't have to get into detail. Toilet gets clogged, right? It's a shame, really. But, you know, what you gonna do about it? You flush. Naturally, you just flush. You don't know that it's clogged yet, so you flush. You're ignorant. Now, in Europe, I don't know how about you, but when a toilet is clogged, the water rises, and then it stops at a certain level, retracts, rises again. That's how it tries to fix itself. But for some reason, the Canadian toilet, it just kept rising and rising and rising, and it just starts spilling out. And me and my parents, we're just panicking. We're like, what the frick is happening? Because the toilet's just overflowing. And we're like, what do we do? And my mom starts, like, strategically placing towels. And we're just panicking. Because, oh my god, it was a mess. So other things that happened in Niagara Falls, that's all for the motel that we were at. And boy oh boy, my favorite thing I did in Niagara Falls, in a single day, I went to a Wendy's and I went to a Walmart. Those were, oh my god, okay, let me just talk about this. So, Before we went to Canada, my dad sat me down and was like, okay, we're going here. Is there anything you want to see in particular? This is like once in a lifetime kind of trip. We don't go out this far usually. So like, what do you want to see? And I was like, I want to go to a Walmart. That was my #1 dream. I want to go to a real life Walmart. So my dad found a Walmart near Niagara Falls. So we kind of had like a short day of just doing nothing. So like, you know what, we're gonna come down. There's like these beautiful waterfalls right next to our hotel, and I'm just like, let's go to a Walmart, please. So we went to a Walmart, and it was like a long distance away, but we walked, and it was a nice walk. But we're walking, right? And lo and behold, what do I see in the distance? Wendy's. My jaw dropped. I turn to my parents and I say, I must enter that I must enter that establishment and consume a meal. Did I just seriously die to poison? This was my one chance. And my parents were like, you know what? We didn't have dinner plans anyway, so let's go have Wendy's. Oh my god. Best chicken I've had in my life. I will never get over how good that chicken was. Jesus. I think I still have a picture. I took a picture like of my meal excitedly and I sent it to my friends. I was like, oh my god, guys, like, I'm in a real life Wendy's. And they were like, oh my god, you're in a Wendy's? And I was like, yeah. It was great. It was so good. But we finally arrived at the Walmart. It was great. You know, I don't have much to say about it. I took lots of pictures and I texted my friends a lot. But I got Eggos. Up until then, I've only seen them in Stranger Things, and I was like, I actually have an Eggo, and I ate it for breakfast the next day, and it was great. So we're on to our last destination, Toronto. For 3 days. We're gonna finish up of Toronto. Now, this is where... Now, as I said, this is a story time with a focus on hotels. And this hotel in Toronto is the single reason I wanted to, like, record this at all. Jesus. I'm just thinking about that hotel and I'm just getting PTSD. So, we get to our room and everything seems fine at first. This is our first day at the room. And... oh my god, okay. There were ants in our bed sheets. Straight up ants. Just chilling in our bed sheets. They were just crawling around, just chilling. And we're like, you know what? Not a good start. But it's gonna get better, right? It's got to. It only got worse. The ants were kind of a sign of things to come. It was here that our toilet clogged again. For the second time during the trip. And it started overflowing again. We panicked again. But, you know, this wasn't our first rodeo anymore. You know, the hotel wasn't so bad. So the next day, now I don't know if this was the next day after the ants, or it might have been one more day, but that's just details. You know, we're sleeping peacefully. It's around 6 a.m. And we wake up to a fire alarm ringing in the whole hotel. Just going off, because something's burning, baby. So we're like, uh-oh. Like, we're like, oh, sisters, this is getting serious. So we're like in a rush, getting everything. We got all our important documents, and you can't actually smell any smoke or anything. So we're like, we weren't that much in a rush. We probably should have been, considering, you know, you don't know what's happening, but it's also like we need our important stuff, or we're like be stranded in a foreign country. So we get our passports and everything and our electronics, and we just rush out the door. We're going down the stairs, like fire escape stairs, and there's this guy. I remember him to this day. What a legend! He's got like. He's wearing like a freaking like a sleeveless top. He's got a cigarette like in his mouth and like holding it with one hand. And he's just screaming at the whole staircase. He's like, I can't fucking believe this. This is the worst fucking experience I haven't had in my fucking life. This is the word from the fucking booking to the fucking this, the fucking alarm, the fucking breakfasts are shite. And I'm just sitting there listening to him like, okay, dude, you've had a bad time today, huh? And he was hungover. We heard, like, his room, like, partying the day previous. That man was not having a good day. But I miss him to this day. He was great. So we get out of the hotel, and we're standing around with all the other confused people. We're just standing around, and everything seems fine. So I start texting my friends about everything happening. And then my dad's like, oh, I don't see any smoke, I don't see any smoke, I don't see anything. I'm sure it's just a drill. And then 2 fire trucks pull up around the corner. This is just getting better and better, isn't it? So we're standing there, we're watching the fire trucks approach, and we're like, oh damn, this is real. This is really happening right now. So they just pull up, they're like, what up? And like, a few of them entered the building and everything was fine. There was nothing happening. But seeing them just show up, we were just like, oh no. You know? So that was fun. But that's not all of that hotel yet. So we had ants in our bed sheets. We had the fire alarm. And the last thing was a bit more personal. In the sense that only I was damaged by this, right? And this was horrible. I don't even know how to put this into words, okay? You know, all that happened and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll wake up normally for one day. Like, just one day, can I just get a normal morning in this hotel? No. Because I wake up, and there's like this pain in my neck I don't know the origin of. And I'm chilling, lying on one side, in excruciating pain, and I can't even move. That's how much it hurts. I can't move my head at all. Now my parents wake up, and they start getting ready, and they're like, Sam, get up, wake up, we gotta go to breakfast. And I'm literally on the verge of tears because of how much pain I'm in. And to this day, I don't know what happened to me. To this day, I have no idea what that was. It just showed up and then it left. But I was in so much pain, I couldn't even move. And I start like half crying, being to my mom like, I can't move, it hurts so much. And my mom's like, what the frick is happening with you? And I'm like, I can't move my head, I can't move my neck, it hurts. And my mom's just like, okay, concern. So I start like slowly moving it a bit at a time. And it took me like an hour just to stand up from the bed. And I still had to keep my head like pointed in one direction for the entirety of breakfast. So I was like walking sideways by the like little food trays they laid out. And it was really funny. And then to top it all off, the breakfast was horrible. The food tasted like crap. It tasted like cardboard. None of it tasted good. So overall, my trip to Canada was lovely. I did a lot of cool things. It was very fun. You know, new experiences and whatnot. But for some reason the hotels were just really bad in every single one. You know what else I did in Canada I forgot to mention? I went to a 7-Eleven. I went to a 7-Eleven and I got pot noodles. They were the best pot noodles I've ever had. They were spicy AF. They burnt me in all the good ways. And they were so good, and I ate them while watching Cartoon Network at the hotel because my parents went to get, like, rotisserie chicken somewhere. And then I ate chicken. And I don't know, it was just a good day. It was a good day. And this was at the good hotel. Like, shout out to 7-Eleven for the good noodles. Shout out to the Toronto Hotel for giving me PTSD. And shout out to all the meth addicts I saw in various alleyways throughout the cities. Very epic.